Hello everyone, welcome back. We continue our discussion on the topic trigonometry, and we will look at trigonometric ratios based on specific angles in this session today. We know what the trigonometric ratios are. In the previous session we discussed that there are 6 trigonometric ratios: sine, cos, tan, and their inverses, which is cosec, sec, and cot. So these are the 6 trigonometric ratios that we learned. But so far we have been talking about theta in general, where theta is the measure of the angle. Today we're going to substitute that theta with an angle measure and see for that particular angle measure what is the value or what are the values of these trigonometric ratios. The specific angles that we're going to consider are 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees. And for these 5 angles, 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90, that's 5. So for these 5 angle measures, we're going to look at the values of sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot. So basically you would look at a table format where you have on one side the ratios mentioned, that is sine, cos, tan, etc., and on the other side you have the angle measure 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. So these are the values if you plot them. So you see these are the trigonometric ratios of specific angles. Now the specific angles that we're talking about are these. These are the specific angles: 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. And what would be the values of the T ratios or trigonometric ratios is what we see in this table. Now sine 0 degrees is 0, sine 30 is 1 by 2, sine 45 degrees is 1 by root 2, sine 60 degrees is root 3 by 2, and sine 90 is 1. Similarly, you have the values for cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot for these particular angle measures. If I tell you that you need to remember this, don't get worried, because there is an easy method of doing this, or there is an easy method of coming up with this table. All you have to remember first of all is that there are 5 measures: 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. So there are 5 measures, and here there are 6: sine, cos, tan, and then their inverses. Cosec is the inverse of sine, sec is the inverse of cos, and cot is the inverse of tan. Once you remember this, all you have to do is, this is a tip that you can keep in mind in case you forget these values. Put 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 here. Isn't it easy? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide all by 4. Right? So we put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and we divided all this by 4. Then you've got to take the square root of the whole thing. Once you know this, you can create this table. Now 0 by any number is 0, so that's why we have 0 here. Let's take the sign one. So now this basically is going to give you this line. Why do we write this? 0 by 4 the whole squared, 1 by 4 the whole squared, 2 by 4 the whole squared, 3 by 4 the whole squared, and 4 by square. This is to get this line, right? So 0 by any number is 0. Root of 1 divided by root of 4. Root of 1 is 1 and root of 4 is 2. That's how you get 1 by 2. Similarly, root 2 will remain as root 2, but root 4 is 2. So you have 2 by 2. 2 by 2, or rather you have root 2 divided by 2. Now root 2 will go into 2 how many times? It will go into 2 root 2 times. So that's how you get 1 by root 2 here. Root 3 by 4. Root 3 remains as root 3. Root 4 is 2. Root 4 by 4. 4 by 4 is 1. Root of 1 is 1. So you got the first line, and that's all you need. Because once you get the first line for sine, you just need to, this is from left to right. Now write the values here from right to left. So 1, what you see here, you write 1 here. Root 3 by 2 will come here second. This will come here. This will come here, and this will come here. So which means this direction you just have to reverse it. So once you reverse the order, you get the value of cos. If you have sine and cos, we know tan is equal to sine divided by cos. 0 by 1, 0. 1 by 2 divided by 1 by root 2 by 2. So 1 by root 2. This actually should be 1 by root 3, correct. So 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled, so 1 by root 3. Here you have 1. Here you have root 2. Root 2 by 2, and you have 1 by 2 here. So same denominator, so root 2 by 1, which is root 2. And 1 by 0 is undefined. So this is undefined, right? So you have sine, cos and tan. Once you have these three values, you just have to inverse it. So when you inverse the 0, you get undefined. So wherever you have 0 and you inverse it, you get undefined, right? So here you have a 0, here you have undefined. Rest you know. You just have to 1 by root 3. When you reverse it, you get root 3. 1, if you inverse it, you get 1. Here root 3 will become 1 by root 3. So 1 becomes 0, but 0 becomes undefined. So that's how you create this table. So all you have to remember is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide everything by 4 and take the square root of the whole. Take the square root of the whole thing and bring it to its nearest terms. For example, here you'll have to bring it to its nearest terms to get this. Once you have sine, reverse the order. You get cos. Sine divided by cos will give you tan. So once these three are in place, you just need to inverse sine, you get cosec, inverse cos you get sec, and inverse tan you get cot. Now you might get a few questions like the objective type of questions where for example they might ask you state whether the following statements are true or false. So what do you do, for example, if they ask you the value of sine increases from 0 to 1 as you move from 0 degrees to 90 degrees. So that's a true answer, right? Because the value of sine, if you see 0, half, 1 by 2, root 3 by 2, and then 1. So if you see the value of sine increases from 0 to 1, what about cos? If they ask you the value of cos decreases from 1 to 0, that's a true statement, because here you will see that this is decreasing from 1 to 0. Here from 0 to 1 it increases, here it decreases. So just remember these two. Now not only increase and decrease, they are also in the reverse form, because just as I mentioned earlier, these values, when you write it in the reverse order, you get cos, right? So not only they increase and decrease, but they are also reverse, in the reverse order. Now how about let's take this one, cosec and sec. Do you find some order here? Cosec moves from infinity, it actually comes down, right? It comes down from infinity to 1, whereas sec is the other way around. It increases from 1 to infinity. This is only increase and decrease. It is not reverse. Reverse only is for sine and cos. What I'm telling you right now is one is from infinity to 1 and the other is from 1 to infinity, right? Same way tan and cot. You find a pattern here, tan and cot. Tan is 0 to infinity, cot is infinity to 0. So just keep these patterns in mind. You might get some, short answer type questions or true or false questions with these, points, so that you should be able to answer that. Sine increases 0 to 1, cos decreases 1 to 0. Not only that, they are in the reverse order. Then there is a slight link here between cosec and sec, and then there is a link here between tan and cot. So that's all you need to remember as far as this table is concerned. Now in the coming sessions you will encounter problems based on these values. For example, they might give you a problem wherein sine 30 degrees is mentioned. So you need to know, okay, sine 30 degrees means it's 1 by 2. Or maybe tan 45 degrees is mentioned. So you need to know this value, that it's 1. So using these values, we will be solving problems in the next sessions. Okay. Fine then. Let's catch up and do some problems based on these in the upcoming sessions. Till then, bye. Thank you.